Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to learn a 5 card spread that is very beginner friendly. And this spread is good for getting the dish on the overall energy and situations that might come up and how to deal with them. And that might sound familiar because I use this spread for my weekly astrology and tarot reading. I feel like it gets to the juice, it gets to the meat of the situation. Um, so I'm going to teach you that one today, and I'm going to do something a little bit different than other videos that you might have watched because I feel like one of the issues that I had and that you may be having when you're learning how to read your cards and you're learning about spreads, there will be like a description of the spread or maybe how to do it. However, you don't really see that spread being used in action. So I'm going to fix that. So today I'm going to teach you about, I'm going to give you the info on how to do the 5 card spread. And I'm also going to demonstrate it for you by reading for you. So I'm super pumped about this. I've done 2 videos already on this and it's super fun and interactive. So at the end of this video, I'm going to do a pick a card reading where I read for you and I'm going to demonstrate how to do the 5 card reading. Okay, so just a quick introduction. If you don't know me yet, my name is Valentine Lister, and on this channel, I do videos on tarot like this. I do a weekly astrology and tarot forecast, and I will be doing videos on astrology because I'm a professional astrologer, hey, and I'm also a tarot card reader, run my own business. I could read for you, and I do that live right now, as of right now, when I'm posting this video because I like to have that interaction and be able to really connect with my clients, clarify anything, that comes up in the reading and really give like personalized guidance. So if you want to know more about me and my background, you can go to my website, valentinelister.com. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go over the spread and I'm going to put a list on the side of the screen, like in print, for what each card means, because we're getting a little more complicated here than just like 1 card where it's the overall energy, or the 3 card where it's just past, present, future, where it's like fairly simple to remember. So the first card in the spread would be the overall energy that that person is experiencing or the overall energy of the question. So when I do this spread, I pull a card for the overall energy for the week. So this spread is actually good for predictions. It's like the prediction part of like the spread, like the overall energy for the question, the overall energy for what they're experiencing. You could do it for the present as well, but this is more like, okay, like what's the feel of the room, right? And then we have the second card. We're going to pull in the second card, which is going to be situations that may come up. So now we're definitely in prediction mode. So a person might have a question, or you might want to know what's going on for the week, which is what I do every week in the weekly astrology and tarot forecast. Or you may want to know what's coming up for the month, for the year. Or just like the person might want to know about a relationship or job issues there. So this is the situation that may come up for whatever you're reading for. Then we get to the third card. So for me, I wanted to know why, so this is a spread that I adapted from another one. So with this third card, this is, why is that situation coming up? Because that gives us some clarity on like what can we do about it? We're getting into we're starting to move towards like reflection on it, and then moving towards the advice, which will be next. So this is like why that situation is coming up. Is it me? Is it them? Is it a combination of the two? This card gives some clarity on the situation and the dynamics in it. Then we get to the fourth card, which is the advice. So that is the advice on what you need to do when it comes to the situation coming up for whatever you're reading for. And then people like to peek to the end of the story, so they want to know the outcome of the situation. And so the outcome is, it's like, this is what it's going to be, right? And so the advice is usually tied into that. And so one thing to know when you're saying this is the outcome, it's not set in stone, right? we can do things to like manage that situation. This like what the outcome might be gives the person some preparation on what may be the outcome. However, more often than not, like that outcome is going to happen no matter what. The advice is usually tied into being able to handle that outcome. So that is what I've found with reading for people and doing the weekly readings. Like doing the forecasting for the weekly reading, it's collective. So I get to experience it with you guys. And there's weeks where I'm like, I'll be able to handle this and I won't be upset, or like the outcome of the week, it won't be bad. And then that week, it actually ends up being difficult, even though I know about it, right? But the advice helps me to handle whatever outcome that is. And I just want to get into like when and why you would use this type of reading. So for me, I use this reading if somebody's asking like specific advice about a situation and they want to know what to do. So this is a very practical spread where it's like what are the dynamics of the situation and what can I actually do about the situation? What am I not seeing? What may come up that I'm not necessarily prepared for, so that I can have some guidance on how to deal with it. I also use it for like in combination with astrology. The reason I do this spread versus like a past, present, future spread or something like that is because I read the transits for the week, the astrology transits for the week when I'm doing my weekly astrology and tarot forecast. So the astrology transits already tell us what's going to happen that week. It's pretty clear. And that actually is the strong part of astrology. It tells you what's going to happen. Where tarot, even though it can do that, it's really better for, well, what do I do about it? Like, what should I do in this situation? Astrology is not necessarily going to tell you that. It's just going to show you, like, with clear eyes, what's going to happen. And then as an astrologer, or you can reflect on it personally and you can figure out like, well, what can I do about this? But tarot is more direct on answering that for you. Okay, now before I get into the demonstration part of this 5 card reading, I just wanted to let you know that this is a demonstration of reading the cards, right? It's not telling you like how to actually look at a card and pick up information. This is on how to read a spread where you're pulling the cards all together. If you want to know like the detailed thing of how to use your intuition to read the cards, I have a great video for that for you. It's called Read Your Cards, How to Read Your Tarot Cards Right Away. I definitely recommend that video. It will be helpful for you. Also, something else I'll link in the description below. I'll link that video, but I have a psychic development series as well, which I think is really helpful with how to understand your own intuition and really build on your psychic gifts. So I'll put that as well in the description box below. All right, so I'm going to tell you how this pick a card reading is gonna work. So basically, you're just gonna look at these cards and you're going to pick a pile. My advice is not to overthink it. Just pick the pile that you want to pick, like that one. I think intuition works better if you don't think about it. Some people recommend taking some time to meditate or like clear your energy before you pick. And basically the thing is, you don't want to pick from anxiety. You want to like feel like that. If that pile makes you feel like calm or clear, that's usually a good sign. But don't overthink it. Just pick. So this is pile 1. This is pile 2. This is pile 3. And this is pile 4. So pick for yourself. I'm going to read for you to give you a message, to give you an idea how this actually works in real life. Now, after you pick your pile, I want you to go down to the description box below. I'm going to have timestamps there for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Click on that pile and we'll go to your reading. Now, if you want to peek at like how I'm reading for the other piles, you can go ahead and do that. But I recommend that you first let me read for you. Let this be super fun, interactive. Before you go on to that. All right, pile 1, super pumped to read for you guys. So let's see what we got going on. So for the overall energy for your situation, we have the 8 of Cups reversed. Then for situations that might come up, we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. then for our middle card, that is the like why the situation is coming up. We have the star upright. For advice for the situation, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. And then for the outcome of the situation, we have the King of Swords upright. So just like a, primer on like how I read, I like just sometimes I just start with whatever card jumps out at me, or I'll look at like all of the cards together and something jumps out at me and just like the themes with like all the cards coming together. But if you're a beginner, you can just start with the beginning, start with the first card, right? Which is the overall energy of the situation, and then moving on to, you know, what situations are coming up, why they're coming up. You can start from left to right, begin with the story, right? So anyway, I'm going to jump into the reading for you. And what really jumps out at me is that there has been, for my pile ones, some sense or some sort of like self discovery or like working on yourself. And I think this is because people have not come through for you financially. I think that maybe there has been like a job loss or loss in finances. There's some type of like resources, stability, and security where people have not come through for you the way that you were hoping to, the way like you want stability, but it's pretty shaky, especially with the people around you and advice they're giving you, or either advice or you actually expected them to come through and actually take action and do something to make you two feel connected, or to build some, to build trust like between you two, or a group of people. It could be more than one person I'm seeing. And they didn't come through for you. Um, and so it's like, why is this situation coming up? Well, the situation that's coming up, I think it's really to help you to stand on your own 2 feet, even with situations that are chaotic, unsteady, unstable. Um, and to really like, yeah, to really learn how to be stable and have to like rely on your own 2 feet, but there is also this element of flexibility and being in the flow. Maybe perhaps in the past, like there might have been, some rigidness in the past. And I'm just thinking that because like now I feel like um, the reason the situation is coming up, it's to teach you how to go with the flow. And so that's why I'm thinking like maybe there was some, there was, I don't know, like there was some rigidness in the past, but I actually even, I'm also getting that like maybe there is really even emotional instability in the past, not being able to handle your emotions. And maybe that's because the people around you were unreliable or untrustworthy. And so you couldn't put your faith in them. And so there's a part of you that has felt lost and um, felt like you had to go your own way in the past. And I think that has been something that's really gotten you down. Like there's really, really like some devastation. I feel like there's some devastation, and that, some of the changes that are coming into your life have been unwanted. But like through that pain, I feel like you have done some self-discovery. I feel like you've done some inner work to really understand your emotions, understand like how to deal with situations, like when people are not coming through for you, and be your own support, be your own, hope, and really fight for yourself. I'm really like, I'm really seeing you start to fight for yourself when it comes to security. Um, and, I think really this is like to give you hope and faith in your own, in your spirit, in your own wisdom, that like you actually have some practical gifts that you can be putting into the world if you're not already, where you can bring that to people. Oh, and yeah, and the situation is coming up so that you can bring hope to other people. There is this element of, there's a part of you that really does want to connect with other people, and be supported, but, and and also just like, I think there's a part of you that wants to really contribute to society in a very grounded and practical way. I'm getting that there's this mix of like emotions, but there's also this groundedness that you have or that you're moving towards. And that as you're finding your stability, as you're figuring out like your own emotions and also how to just create like physical security, like in your relationships, or financial security, whether that be with a job or school, like you're learning something, learning a new skill, or you're delving deeper into like what inspires you, like what really lights you on fire, and really putting some grounds and really putting like roots to that. And so those things like that chaos has happened in order to help put you in a place where you give hope to others. Like people are going to see an example of what you're doing, and maybe you're going to be a loner at first. You're not getting support for this thing, whatever skill or job or even just things you learned. Like this could be for a job or a relationship, or setting your roots into a home, like having that financial stability and security. Um, but what I'm saying is you're not getting support for that. So there's going to be a loner aspect to you and being able to stand on your own 2 feet without other people. I feel like maybe in the past for my pile ones, you've relied on other people to give you that security, and you're finding that that is blowing up in your face. Like that is something that is not, that's something that is blown up in your face. And so um these situations have come up, and the painfulness of that situation and having to separate yourself from other people and go your own way is to help you rely on yourself, trust in your own 2 feet, and to trust in the universe, in your spirit guides guiding you, to trust your intuition, because that's something that has been blocked in the past, that like other people have thrown you off. And so this is the point where you're going to be connected to that, both connected to what's grounded, physical, practical, but also grounded to what lights you on fire, your soul, your spirit, how that moves you forward, and how your intuition and your spirit guides move you forward. So the advice in this situation is to hold tight, sit still, through your difficulties. And I really, really am strongly getting this message right away when I pulled, looking at this Four of Pentacles now for the advice. And when I'm looking at that card, it really, like the stand your ground, like came out right away. Like stand your ground. You're having people push back at you through your changes in your life. I'm thinking that you are going your own way or standing your ground with something. And right now, I'm getting the feeling that it's a little bit shaky, that you are like standing on your own 2 feet. You're starting to go off on your own and really relying on your own, like on your intuition, what you feel is right. And I feel like you're getting some pushback from other people, and they might be a little bit aggressive, I'm seeing. And they're saying this like in a way to say like they're trying to protect you, or they're trying to do this for your best interest. But I think that's bullshit. I don't think that the people that are trying to push you away from what you are inspired to do or what you love are really doing it for your own interest. I really think that it may be like their issues coming across. And I think sometimes, you have a lot of, my pile ones, you have a lot of compassion for people, and you have in the past like wanted to help people and wanted to like kind of like bring them back, or like help people. And um you know what, like this is not the time to do that. So the advice from spirit is to really stand your ground and not budge on what you're doing. So it's kind of like, cows. With cows, like they kind of like stand and you can't get them to move. I think that's what cow tipping is all about. I don't know. I'm not from the Midwest. So if you know about cow tipping, let me know that. Right? But I'm bringing this in. It's like, this is a time to set your roots and foundations in what you believe to be true, what you believe to be the right way to live. Like this time is about setting your roots and your foundation. And I think that you can trust like what it is that you're moving towards. And I think you know that. But again, there's a sense of like maybe you're wavering back and forth in like this like new skill or job or even relationship or a move or like something physical, something related to your physical security. I feel like you're doubting that. Because, and but not you're doubting it, that there's other people doubting it, and there's a part of you that's like, should I really do this? But I think those other people are too caught up in their own issues, like their own traumas, their own emotions, their own fears, and it's about them, right? And so they're going to have to deal with that themselves, right? We cannot change anybody else. And so sometimes it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like people come along and, they're there to devour you, right? They're there to, like, they end up suffocating your energy. And sometimes the compassionate thing to do is to step away and to live your life and do the things that you love and have a sense of freedom and not worry about like what your network of people are saying. I mean, they haven't come through for you before, so why are you going to trust them? Like why are you going to trust their advice if they're not coming from a place where they have their stuff together and they know what they're doing? Like don't even bother trusting them. Like you have to look at the source, and this is not to say like that person's a bad person. I mean, inevitably, like I always think, and you probably think, like there's a good person underneath. Of course there is, but they actually have to do that inner work to discover that person. They have to do it. That's what this life is about. That's why we're all in these like individual bodies, because this is our personal journey. Maybe in another realm, like in the afterlife, you were all like in it together and we are like working on these energies together. But there is a reason that we're only seeing things from our perspective, our own two eyes. And that's because each person here on this earth is responsible for themselves and for their own energy. And while, we can help people sometimes, we can help people, right? But the best way to help people is to lead by example. So be free yourself, have the confidence to do what you're inspired to do, like that idea you have to do to move forward for financial or physical security, you know, do that, because that is the best way to help people, to be healthy yourself, to create your own financial stability or relationship stability or a stability in your passions. Like, even if this is a side job or a side hustle, there's really something awesome about having the passion to do that and really taking the time to do that. And that is super inspiring to people. And that is the way you do it. It's not by holding yourself back. The more that, you let your light come through, the better able you are to help people. And sometimes that means like cutting people off or not listening to them. And so you have permission to do that. Or even if you have those people in your life, stand your ground. Like, this is what you want to do. So do it. And so the outcome of the situation. So we have this King of Swords. I really feel like someone's going to help you. Like someone's going to come along and help you. Like with your passion, with setting a roots and foundation, and they have their stuff together and they're going to be coming along and helping you with your transformation. Now this, it could be like an adult, like male, like adult masculine energy. It could be feminine energy too. Um, but most likely a male, like an adult male energy that has a lot of compassion, like has this balance between this masculine and feminine energy, because they're super compassionate. Not only do they have like their business or their work together, or like they think very clearly and they know how to strategize. Sometimes they're too in their head, sometimes they do overthink things, but they have this ability to see things from a higher perspective and have wisdom, and they can help you with your transformation. So this will be a person coming along, either a physical person or someone in the media or someone that you meet, that's going to help give you advice. And I do see for some of my pile ones that this is going to be a relationship, like this is going to be a romantic relationship for you. For other people, it may be somebody that you're coming across in the media. And for some people, this is going to be like a business person, or someone you meet that has like a business or a side hustle, like has their stuff together. So there's a variety of scenarios. We have a lot of like different people like watching this for pile one. So various scenarios. I do see some romance for some of you guys. So Super cool. You know, a lot of us want that, but sometimes we want someone that's going to help us make that money. And I see that for my pile ones too. And maybe there's going to be a connection there, a relationship that helps you with business. Super, you know, two birds, one stone. So it's going to be various scenarios depending on you, but someone who is super passionate, super compassionate, has had the strength to follow their soul and has been in your shoes. They've been where you've been in life and they can guide you forward. And I just feel like they're going to give you the inspiration and the hope. You just have to stand your ground, stick it out, be able to weather the storm of other people trying to sway you away from whatever it is you want to do. All right, so that is what I'm seeing for my pile ones. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video out if you found it helpful. Also, leave me a comment below if there's another type of spread you want me to do in this style, or there's a question you want me to answer and you want to know, like, well, what type of spread would I do for this question? All right, love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. All right, hey, pile two. So let me pull the cards for you. Let's see what we got. So for the overall energy, we have the Ten of Swords. For situations that may be coming up, we have the Two of Cups. Why this situation is coming up, we have the Page of Wands. Advice for the situation, we have the Knight of Swords. And the outcome, we have the High Priestess. So the way that I read these cards is that whatever I feel like, you know, and that's how you can read them, all right? So as a beginner, you may want to just start with the first card and then go to the next, like, start with like, okay, overall energy, situations that might come up. And you can even leave some of these cards face down. Sometimes I get too much information. Sometimes that can be overwhelming. But I thought, you know, for the purpose of this reading, I'm going to like put all the cards up so you can see them, so you can reflect on them, you know, too. Okay, so also like, so sometimes I'll just start with the card that jumps out at me. Sometimes I'll read like the overall energy, which is what I'm picking up right away for my pile twos. Sometimes I'll read one card at a time. And generally you want to start from left to right. So that's easy. And so right away for my pile twos, the overall energy that I'm getting is this is related to a relationship and having to step away from somebody, and actually getting connected to a new love and, you know, learning to trust your intuition. So I'm getting the sense that, someone was like really draining your energy. Like maybe they were super toxic, super needy, you know, like that energy vampire, right? Like they didn't have their stuff together. They had a lot of issues and they were really draining you. And, you know, so like, I think that, I don't know, maybe you guys have stepped away from that situation because I'm seeing like situations that come up and I'm seeing Two of Cups and I'm seeing a new relationship for you guys, new romantic relationship. Um, yeah, and even marriage. So for not, this is not for all my pile twos, but even some like marriage, like meeting the person you're going to marry or being connected with somebody, or maybe having a proposal. Maybe like this person was draining you or um, not really giving what you needed in a relationship, and maybe they stepped it up and maybe you guys are taking the next step. But for some of you, I see like maybe there was an ending or breakup, like a stepping away from that relationship, and now because you've stepped away from like this toxic relationship or this relationship that wasn't serving you, the situation that's coming up is good. You're going to meet somebody new and have some romance. Like, holla to all the people who are like, am I going to meet somebody new? So if you have not already met that person, you're probably going to soon. And I feel like for some of you who you have met this new person and like there's a budding romance going on. Yeah, a lot of passion, a lot of connection, and I feel like this is a soulmate. So either the person you met or the person you're going to meet, you guys do have a strong soul connection. Now, I do believe that we have more than one soulmate. To be honest, I think like everybody's really our soulmate. Like everybody's getting us like to this place where, you know, we can reconnect to like the truth of who we are. But as far as romantic soulmates go, this is definitely one of them for you. Someone who I'm seeing, ooh, like a lot of passion like a lot of passionate energy. And this is a time where you're actually able to receive their energy. And really being like, I'm just seeing you guys as being like so connected to each other, like one person coming together. And I think it's a lot of like passion, but I also see this relationship as super nurturing for you. And that's like what you have needed for a long time because your energy has just been so drained. Like you've just been doing too much and you burnt out. You burnt out and you're like, I just can't do this anymore. I just don't have the energy. I just don't have any more in me to help you. Like I have to move on. And I can't keep doing like, like what I've been doing. Like I have to be able to step away from this situation. And yeah, so the reason I'm thinking breakup, because we have the Page of Wands, and so I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm thinking like even for some of you, like it's like super toxic, maybe even like an abusive situation, like a person that was really nasty, really caught up in their own emotions, really self-centered, selfish, really had a temper. And I feel like like of course that's going to be draining when the person is not like being considerate to you. And of course it's going to be draining when you try to help this person and you try to help them see, what they're doing, or you try to like fix the situation or solve it. And you're putting all your energy into this, and the person is not making an effort themselves to deal with things in a healthier and better way. And I think for my pile twos, like you guys realize that you can't be in this situation. Like you can't still be like in this situation anymore. It's time to move on. Yeah, definitely. Like it's time to move on, like from this person. And I think like you finally had like the wisdom to be able to step away. And now it's, creating this energy of like new love coming in and really inviting other people in a way to nurture you. Sometimes we have to have an ending to things before we can get to those healthy relationships. And it has to be us that decides, just like, this person where you ended things with, you know, like they have to come to a place where they realize they need to change and step away from things. And that's what you're doing, right? You have to step away from them in order to let something new come in. And so awesome job, pile two. Okay, so let's see the advice in the situation. We have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like this person is going to try to come back. Like this person that you ended your situation with, I feel like they're going to try to like message you and come back. And they have a lot of thoughts going through their head. They've been thinking about things. Um, but I'm still getting this energy that they're scattered. I don't have this energy like that they have their stuff together. Like I don't have this energy of like they've, you know, made any changes. I think that they're going to try to make a comeback into your life because they're scared about losing you. I think they don't want to lose you. Um, and I think they're going to come back and express their love to you and like say they do, but I think it's just them trying to control the situation, like have control over the situation because there's a lot of anxiety from them, like from you leaving. And so I'm not seeing like, okay, this person is coming back into your life because there's been a genuine change or a transformation. They may think that, they may think like, or they may say like, oh, I've changed and, it's time for me to come back, into your, like, can I come back or try to make things right? But I just don't see that they've made any big changes. And so I think that, like seeing the outcome of this, we have like the High Priestess reverse that, yeah, the outcome, I think like, yeah, I think some things like there's some wisdom here. I think that this situation is helping you to trust like your own intuition, your own wisdom, and really to rely on yourself. And I really think that, like honestly, I really think that you're going to end things with this person. I don't see, yeah, I don't see things like working out. Like, so this person is going to try to come back into your life. And I think that the outcome is going to be you trusting in yourself and you saying, like, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. I'm completely drained from this relationship, right? It's not that you don't love the person. It's not that you don't have desire for that person. Although maybe that some of that desire is dwindled just because you're so burnt out, like from their energy and from them draining you and from the toxicity. And I'm seeing that like you're trusting your intuition to be able to end this relationship. And I think you're really going to see through like the lies. And I think that like this is really why, like, I'm just getting the energy of why this situation is happening is to be able to trust in your intuition, and trust your feelings about people and to trust those red flags when they come up. And really, like, I'm just seeing this, like, strength come up for you and just this, like, budding wisdom, like, really being strong in yourself, really knowing yourself, um, and being able to cut people off where like they're not serving you, and that's like so things can grow. So I am getting that like that image of like weeding a garden or like pruning a tree or a bush, whatever. Like we have to cut things back and we have to cut things down in order to help them grow. So in order to help love grow for you, you've had to cut away from people that bring you death, right? Bring you nastiness, like they are life taking, right? So you're cutting away people who are life taking. And, maybe for my pile twos, there was a part of you that really wanted to help people. And now you're not. And now you're like, fuck that. Like, I'm not helping anybody. Like, I just, um, yeah, like you're not about it anymore. Like that's what I'm really feeling. I'm like hearing it from my pile twos. Like forget it. Like their issues are their issues, and I feel like you're ready to move on. And I think by, cutting off this toxic person, I think you're going to have greater love in your life. And I think overall, like, I mean, I am seeing with one person, I am really strongly like seeing a romantic relationship, and regardless of any relationship, like you're seeing love come into your life, like really seeing a greater love or a stronger love, stronger connections with people come into your life and more intimacy because you're surrounding yourself with people who are healthy and who you can trust. All right, for my pile twos, that's the message I'm getting for you. That's what I'm seeing for you. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share it out. If you found value in this video, you like this video, even if you like my other videos, whatever, share it so other people know about it. It really helps the channel. Also, if there's another type of reading that you want me, like type of like spread that you want me to do, or like you're like, well, what kind of spread would I do for this type of question, please leave me a comment below. All right, love you guys. See you later. Bye. All right, for my pile three is super pumped to read for you. So let's see what we have. So for the overall energy, we have the Hanged Man. For the situation coming up, we have the Magician. For why this situation is coming up, this is the Six of Pentacles. And for the advice, we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. And for the outcome, we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so first of all, I'm seeing some big changes for my pile threes. So we have like two major arcana cards. So there have been some big changes, I think maybe forced on my pile threes. Because we have like, so overall energy, right? We have the Hanged Man reversed. And I think that, that is like my pile three is trying to push forward in a situation and not being able to do it. Like, and we have the Magician there. So I'm getting the sense that like, okay. Oh, so first of all, just want to let you know how I'm reading. So, and my approach to reading before I continue this, sorry guys, I forgot to say it. So I do it a couple ways, right? So a lot of times I'm just looking at like the card that jumps out at me first, and I might start with that. So I might not start from left to right, or I might look at all the cards together, see the themes, the overall energy connected together. So like right away I saw we have two major arcana cards. So I'm like, more than one major arcana card, or if they dominate, that's major changes. If you're a beginner, you might want to start from left to right. Just start with one card at a time. You could even flip these other cards over if it's too overwhelming to see like all of these cards. Um, you can do that. You could read how you want. It's your reading. You could do what you want. Okay, so anyway, continuing with that, I'm seeing for my pile three is like this push to move forward and wanting to be busy and having that situation like not happening because I'm seeing like the hangman reversed and the magician. So, yeah. So I'm seeing that like you want to be busy and I'm seeing like this is like related to finances, like wanting to get your money right, wanting financial, physical security. And so I think that there have been setbacks for my pile threes that or like this energy of having to slow down. Yeah, having to slow down and like focus on your material security, like your financial security. And I'm getting the sense that you've had to move very, very slow. And that you're having to move very slow right now in being able to get to the goals, like the financial goals that you want to get. So, yeah, so you've had some setbacks, you've wanted to move forward like and create that like financial either financial stability, security. And for some people that physical security could be with a person or a relationship, but I am getting like such a strong money energy from this reading. I really think like, this may be work related, or even financial planning, like how you spend money, how you use your money, looking at that, how to make more money, I feel like is a big focus for my pile threes. And, I mean, it could relate to actual like physical things like car, home, work, job, school, or like I said, physical relationships, like people who commit to you, um, even friendships. But regardless, I feel like it's a get your money right type of reading for my pile threes. It's just like all pentacles, like on this side. So it's like money, things I like, comfort, and even things that bring you comfort. And the good news is that even though you've had setbacks, you're about to get super busy because the situation coming up is the magician. And so I feel like maybe this is something where you've been waiting for something to come through as far as financial security, as far as like money coming in or resources, like physical resources coming in to support you, or maybe a job. So I do see for my pile threes, there could be some of you who are out of work and you're going to find work soon. I'm definitely seeing that situation come up for you. Now, there's a variety of situations because I'm reading for a bunch of people. Um, so it's maybe even like an idea to make money. So, it could be like working on a business or something and being slow. And then all of a sudden, like you're super busy, where people start finding out about you through like word of mouth, or maybe you're on social media and like people, like you're starting to get more popular or more busy with whatever you've been working on. And it definitely like getting the strong, like new job like type of energy, like because there's like this busyness. And so I'm seeing like getting clients or getting a job where you're busier. And I'm definitely seeing like your finances grow. Yeah, and that's because like because of whatever setback financially happens, it forced you to do some inner reflection on what you want. And it really gave you like a kick in the butt on I have to like be doing more to create the financial security that I want. I can't just sit on my ass, like I have to work for it. Or maybe you've made plans to work for it, but it just hasn't been the right time. And so that's why you slowed down. But it's like slow and steady wins the race. So Earth, right, relates to our money and our physical resources and even like relationships that last a long time. And so anything that's really secure is going to take a long time to build. It's something that you have to be like, this is the marathon. You have to be like with the tortoise and the hare. Like you have to be that tortoise who's like, I'm going to go slow. I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm just gonna like keep going. So, I'm kind of jumping to the advice because sorry, move that. Already the advice is like slow and steady wins the race. Like for my pile threes, you have to remember that you can't just like bulldoze your way through or exert a lot of energy right away where you're gonna burn out because this is not a sprint. Like this is not like I'm just gonna work as hard as I can, like right away and be as busy as I want. Um, like you have to set like your plan, your roots, your foundation, and then continue to work on that until whatever you're doing grows. And I think that for my pile threes, you do have some of that wisdom, but there's a part of you that probably still wants to do like too much. And it's like, hold your horses, hold your horses. Yeah, okay. I mean, I already did like yeah, so like why the situation is coming up, it's just like, yeah, I mean, you want physical security for your home. Um, yeah, you want to make money. Like, you want stability, you want security. Like you want to have a good life, one that you can enjoy, rely on things that are like comforting to you, like having some comfort. Um, I feel like there's been difficulties and sadness in your life that have come up, and like you have this vision of, you know, I can handle anything that happens if I have some physical security, some roots, some groundedness, like money, like you like I said that I've heard the other readers say this, but like money can't buy happiness, but it doesn't hurt, um like money isn't going to give you everything, but it is going to give you a sense of comfort and security, even in the tough times. Yeah, and I think for my pile threes too, you want to consider being able to provide for and take care of others. Like that's a message that I'm getting come through. Um, like I think there's a lot of this like solo manning it, like so like trying to do too much of this on your own, like in trying to pursue things and maybe not considering like maybe there's more of an like the this thing of abundance, right? So like maybe it's like you've been thinking of like how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to provide for myself, but spirit is asking you also to consider that there's going to be others that you need to take care of and provide for. You know, I'm not saying this for everyone in pile three, but I think for a lot of my pile three is like you're not like you maybe you don't haven't had the foresight, or maybe you haven't been thinking of like this is more than just I want security for me. This is so you can provide for others. So this is something where you can't just be in it for yourself. Like there has to be some mentality of I'm going to share what I've gained. I'm not just going to keep it to myself. I am going to spread that wealth to others. I am going to be able to I am going to use my resources to create some good in the world. It cannot just be for yourself. Otherwise, your ship's not going to sail in. There has to be a connection to other people, and that will really help. And I think at the end of the day, like you will be connected to someone because we have the King of Pentacles at the outcome. And I think like somebody's going to come along to teach you some tough lessons about money. I still am getting this energy of like maybe there's going to be some tough lessons for my pile three, which will help you in the long term, in the long run for finances. Because I'm seeing you come across somebody who's like super set in their ways. This is probably like an adult masculine energy, but I'm seeing somebody who's like super rigid and like doesn't like maybe they're kind of like I don't know, like cheap or shifty, or like this is actually not the wisest person to take money advice from. And I see them coming along, and I see you like yeah, I see the outcome is maybe that like you're seeing this person and it's a reflection. It's one of those things where you're gonna like it's gonna be you looking in the mirror and you seeing somebody where you're like, okay, this is not actually like where I want to be when it comes to money and finances. Maybe this person has looked like they've had it all together. Like they've had some financial security and stability, but there's some kind of like dark things that they're hiding behind them, and they're not all that they seem. And they're super rigid, super like, it's like the warning that I'm giving you to not be in it all for yourself. Like this person does have a self-centered type of mentality, and it's not where you want to be. So I think you're going to be coming across somebody, probably adult masculine energy. Sometimes, sometimes this could be like someone who's female who has a masculine energy, but most likely like a male type energy. Um, yeah, and they're going to be everything you don't want to be, and you're going to see that, and you're going to be able to look in the mirror and you have the choice to close yourself off to this person. You have the choice to be like, okay, I don't want to learn from this person. I want to find like another mentor or another like a person who's like wiser about money and who's having a lot more fun. Like this person you're coming across not having a lot of fun, um, maybe kind of sad behind the scenes, like or just self-centered or just like empty. Yeah, that's the word I'm getting. Like this person has an emptiness. And that's because they've only been looking at things in such a rigid way. They haven't been able to adapt to things. And again, you're going to be learning from this person, and it's going to teach you some hard lessons, important lessons. And the real bright side of this is that those lessons are going to help you create more joy and happiness, right? And abundance, like this feeling of abundance where you feel amazing, on fire, alive, and connected to people. And that money just flows in because you're in a good place and because you're feeling good and because of like this like joy in your spirit. And I think that will help you to like um, it's going to help you to work on your generosity. Like, I think there is some resistance to that with the pile threes. Maybe there has been this like mindset of like, I have to do me, I have to protect myself. I can't be like, I have to protect myself, right? It comes out of fear. Like, when we're closed off to people and maybe looking at things only from our own perspective, that comes from fear, and that comes from things that people have told us that are not the wisest people. And you're going to find out like this road is a lot more fun than you anticipated if you choose to learn that lesson and to open yourself up, not be so protective, and to just trust in the universe that it's going to bring you where you want to go. All right, that's the message I have for my pile threes. If you liked this reading, you like this style of video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share it out. If you like this video, you thought it would be helpful, if you thought it was helpful, other people may as well. If there's another type of spread that you want me to read, please leave that in the comments in the description below. And I'll see you guys soon. Love you. All right, pile four. Super excited, super pumped to read for you guys. Okay. So we have the overall energy, we have the Two of Swords. For reasons why this situation is coming up, we have the Two of Wands. Oh, wait, no, this is the situation coming up. Sorry, the overall energy, situation coming up, why this situation is coming up is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. The advice is the Six of Swords reversed. And the final outcome is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay, we got a lot of like people meeting people. That's been a theme. So I'm just going to give you quick before I jump into the reading, like how I read. So I do different things. Sometimes I just go to the card that like speaks to me first. Sometimes I'm reading the overall energy from all of the cards together, which is what I'm picking up right now. But if you're a beginner, you can just start with from left to right, right? Overall energy, situations that might come up, and you can turn the cards over. If you want to read one at a time, it's okay to do that. If you're getting like too much like coming through in the cards, sometimes like when you pull too many cards, it's like all jumbled together and you're like, what am I looking at? And as a beginner, you can read however you want to read. Like it's your reading, you choose. Like, you can do what you want. All right, so reading for my pile fours. Yeah, like I'm picking up right away that this is like relationship related. And yeah, like overall energy, there's a new start. So what is happening? Like we have a new start, and I feel like there's like this stepping away that's necessary for my pile fours. And, I feel like this is just part of an ongoing situation. I don't really see any like major changes, right? We don't have any major arcana cards here. So I'm not seeing any major changes when it comes to this relationship. I think that like the overall energy is just not, it's trying not to lose your shit, like trying not to let your emotions get the best of you. Um, yeah. Yeah, let me see like what else I'm getting. I'm getting this two of wands. Yeah, the two of wands, like the situation coming up. I feel like the situation is really unclear. Like that's what I'm getting. I'm getting like there's really not a lot of clarity moving forward. So something has really thrown you for a loop and you're not, or you're in a situation where you really don't know what to do. Like you're not sure how to move forward, and you're just lost in your emotions. And this is like, and you're trying not to be lost in your emotions. And I feel like this situation is an ongoing situation that you've been in, and you're really not sure what to do about it or how to move forward. And you're really trying to figure that out, like there's a part of you that, um, like really wants to see the future. Like there's a part like this, things have just been hidden and yeah, it's like I'm just getting like such an energy of like confusion or things not being clear from my pile fours, right? And I think like that's why I'm like, huh? Like what's going on? Because the energy is not this, there is like this real confusion. Like, what do I do? Like I've been going through this situation I can. So I think you've really been going through a stressful situation, one that you've had a lot of anxiety about, and one where it's like, you're going to have to make a decision about this situation. And I think relationship, I'm getting from pile fours, um, but you're not really sure how to move forward. And you don't want to move forward because there's like this emotional connection, like to this person and to this relationship. And like you really don't. And I think there's a part of you that really wants to hold on to this relationship. And that's why you're confused. You don't want to move forward. Even though this relationship is one that's putting you into confusion and putting you into emotional turmoil. And so maybe it's not, maybe the situation you're in, it's not like the greatest situation because you're being put into this like place of confusion. And I feel like you have like this other person, maybe in this relationship or other people kind of leading you, like you're going along with like what they want you to do. It's a sense of like you're looking to other people to guide you and you're really feeling lost because um like you're having trouble like figuring out what to do. And I just feel like there's a sense of overwhelm. This sense of from my pile four is that you're feeling like in this situation that you can't handle like whatever you're doing alone, and so you're relying on another person, and their vision to lead you versus your own. And like, that's okay. If that is something, like, if I'm getting the energy of like, you feel really good about that, I'd be like, cool, like, let them take care of you, like, let this person pamper you. But I'm definitely getting this sense of like, there's this loss of self for my pile fours. Like, there's um, this sense of like not being connected to yourself and really trying to develop who you are and like and like that's really not clear yet. Yeah. And I think it's just out of like I'm getting this seven of pentacles reversed, and I think this is out of like wanting security. Like there's this real need for security and for like inner security, like having physical security. And I am getting the sense of a relationship. Like I'm definitely getting a sense of a relationship, and one that's been super stressful, and maybe holding on to it because you want this sense of security, even though like that this situation or this relationship is not right for you. Maybe it's a situation for a lot of guys. I'm getting a relationship, but, and it could be a romantic, I mean, it could be with a friendship or family member, work, life, all that. There's going to be various situations for my pal for. But I think there is this like you want to rely on and depend on other people to give you security, and that like it's been difficult to not do that. It's been difficult, right? Um, and I think, yeah, yeah, I think like that's based like I think this is a situation maybe you don't really want to be seeing for my pile fours. Maybe this is really difficult for you to recognize and see because, you know, this way of doing things is giving you comfort and security, even if it's not ultimately where you want to be, like at the end of the day. Like it's giving you the security you need right now. It's giving you the security that you want to hold on to. And the advice is that it's constricting you. So even though you want the security, it's you know, like you're just sticking with the appetizer instead of the main course, basically. Like you're getting a taste of maybe security, but you're not able to really indulge in and experience. And it's like you don't want this necessarily. Like maybe you want to be where you want to be, and that is okay. So there's no judgment. Like if you want to stay in this situation and you want to rely on this person and being connected to them, that's fine. But what I think the advice like from spirit is that you need more compassion, you need more love in your life, and you need people that give that to you. And like there's a part of you that is starving, and there's a part of you like that could wake up if you chose to. Like there is this like energy, this advice for the advice is like you're constricting yourself, like you're holding yourself back, like you're holding yourself back in some way. And that's okay. However, there's a whole world beyond what you're seeing. There's a whole world that's worth it, that is more full of love, compassion, and more genuine connections and relationships. Um, yeah, like there's really like this whole other world if you wanted to see it and you chose to see it, if you choose to grow. When it comes to this relationship and holding on and depending on this other person, you know? But it's also like it's cool to stay where you are. I think spirit just wants you to know, like, just be aware. Like, there is a whole nother way that's more life-giving, that's more nurturing, more nourishing, that will help light you up. And so it's kind of like I'm getting the sense of like life is like kind of gray right now, and you could be like in full, you used to say like Technicolor, like full like CGI. I don't know I don't even know what they call it, right? But you can be in this world full of color, right? That lights up, that pops, right? And I feel like you're in a space for my Pal 4 um where there's this real dullness, like there is, right? And so part of it is learning how to find that within yourself, which is there. Like, and if you continue with these tower practices and pull cards for yourself, and even engage in like a meditation practice or even like a body practice where you're doing more physical things like playing music that opens you up, right? Opens up your heart. Like taking like walks in nature, connecting with the earth in some way. So like crystals around you, candles, incense, things that smell nice, that give your body pleasure and help you feel connected, I feel like are going to be super important for you. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. And so, like, we have a person coming along. I think this person is going to have compassion for you. Yeah, I'm seeing this like mountain of compassion, like this huge compassion for you, that can relate to you, that's really going to connect with you. And this is most likely like an adult female, maybe like a motherly figure. But it doesn't have to be a mother. It could be somebody just with a motherly energy, who's going to be like, hey, like even like you don't have to deal with this. Like you could get out of this situation. Like there's a way I can help you. So I feel like somebody is going to come across with like resources to help you. Um, And like maybe you don't want them to. So maybe there's like part of your energy is that maybe not ready yet. So maybe somebody's going to come along with some help for you. This is somebody you can meet in person. This could be somebody online in the media, but somebody that can offer some help to you, some physical resources. And I think maybe you're not ready for it yet, but there's some compassion. Like I'm getting this sense of like this person is compassionate and it just opens something in your heart. And I think that's going to be the beginning of like how you relate to people. I think this encounter is going to be important and one that you remember. I don't think it's going to be like, maybe it won't be like the hugest encounter. Maybe it'll be something like, mundane, but it's going to be something that makes you realize that advice of there are people with more compassion who will accept you for who you are. Maybe I'm thinking, getting from my pile four is like there's this energy of, people are not going to accept you for who you are. And so that's why you've like held on to other people. It's like, oh, if the people saw the real me, like they would judge me or they wouldn't accept me as I am. And that's not true. Like, and it's not as true even as it used to be. I think like after like the pandemic and everything that happened, I think that people have way more compassion, way more because everybody has been like rock bottom, you know? Everybody's has had a source of suffering in their lives. And so the bright side of that is that people understand, like people want to care and you can let them care. And maybe what's happened over the past couple of years is kind of like really gotten you down. And maybe for some of my pile fours, I think even professional help like with some sort of healer may be good for you, and can be helpful for you to kind of like open you up because I am seeing this like gray, like, just kind of like um just like blah, like feeling in limbo. And yeah. And I think part of it, it really is holding back those emotions and not letting them come out and, finding a place to release them. And I just feel like, people are going to be compassionate towards you. But they can't be compassionate if they don't know your situation. So I think like crying is a good thing. I think if you, I hate crying in front of people, but I think like crying could be a good thing for you guys, like for my pal fours, and just opening up to people emotionally and letting them come in and help you. I think people are going to be more compassionate and maybe going to like a professional helper or healer can be really, really, really helpful for you. Because I think there's a whole world of love that you are just maybe holding yourself back from, not allowing. And that world starts with you. It starts with that inner love, being able to accept and love like that inner child and that inner you, that inner light that very much is in you. Like you're full of spark. But I feel like for Pile Fours, you guys are not necessarily connected to that right now. And what I want to say is like, there, like, don't lose hope, like that light and that spark is always within you. And having this experience is awesome, right? Because there will be a day where you find that light and that sparkle within you and you feel good again. Um, and it's because you went through this time, right? It's because you can see the contrast. You'll be able to see the contrast in color and light in your life. And, you will be at a place of wisdom at one point. All right, that's what I have for my pile fours. And I hope you like this reading. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, share it out if you think it would be helpful for other people. Also, if there's another type of spread or a question you want me to read for, you want to know what type of spread I would do, please leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.